My name is David. I'm a musician, producer, songwriter, and I travel on the road with our band, an artist named Jared Anderson. We are a worship band that we travel about 10 times a year, a couple weeks at a time, and we do nights of prayer and worship. Every one of those nights, it's really not about the music. When we go out, it's we're ministers first, before musicians, and and we're family, most importantly. So I'll get more into that later, but I just want to, I think writing creatively, in music, playwrights, books, or really anything, is really storytelling. I grew up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's really a military town where you get a lot of people from different backgrounds around the country, and you just mix them into this hodgepodge. So, so growing up was very interesting for me because I grew up around a lot of different backgrounds, people from New York, LA, it's just from different countries even. And being that it was a military town, I had a lot of friends come and go in my life, just, from people moving all over the place. So my parents got me into piano lessons right away. They they got me into sports, just activities to where I could keep myself busy, since we didn't, a lot of people just don't have a ton of close friends in the area. So we did. So I immediately got involved in music. Was the one that caught on. I was classically trained starting at age 7. Piano was really what I stuck to. At school, wasn't really a great student, but piano was my passion. It was, it kind of consumed me when I was a kid, and all throughout high school, it was what I wanted to do until I started getting a little burned out toward high school, toward it, just by being around it all the time, practicing 3 hours a day, just really going after it. And when I was towards the middle of high school, my mom was taking me to church, but I started getting involved in church more. I really needed to fill that need for friendship. And in high school, I really wanted to get involved in church. I was extremely just done with piano. I mean, I just kind of overdosed on it per se, and just had a little too much of it. And when I got, we all go to church, right? Like I had a real God experience for the first time when I was 16. It wasn't an instant thing. It was one of my youth pastors growing up. His name was Joshua. Really started pouring into my life, and just it was really cool. He was taking me out to lunch in high school, which when you're 16 is the coolest thing that anybody could do. And he really started talking to me. He had no idea I played music at the time, but it was amazing. Over a 6-month period, he just started just picking away at the ice and just really just pouring into my life. And that's something that I'll never forget. And just talking about it right now, it just kind of reminds me the importance of people in your life, how that it affects everything. You know, like if I didn't have Joshua in my life, I wouldn't be doing any of this. You know, and a lot of the things he said to me have influenced my own writing and everything. So once he found out I did music, I started playing in the band. And the beautiful thing about Colorado Springs is when you're in a church band, you start meeting a lot of the people around the city that are doing music. And Colorado Springs is an interesting town when it comes to music because there's a real appetite to create. And a long story short, I started meeting a lot of the people doing music that were my age, and all we were a bunch of punk kids that just wanted to make music. I had this keyboard with this little sampler on it, nothing much, and we'd plug our cheap little mics that we saved up all our lunch money, you know, from our parents, and bought our little cheap little mic, and we would record music. That's all we would do. And we just had a hunger just to make something that sounded beautiful. And out of that, none of us really had any ambition to be writers at all. We just wanted to create something great. And we kept doing that. We still maintain that attitude. All the people I talked to from my childhood growing up. So once I got involved in church, I kept at it throughout college. I attended the University of Colorado. Tried doing music, but I went into broadcasting in college because, quite honestly, I really loved playing with gear. Just toys and stuff. Mike will get into that for sure. But a lot of my professors wanted me to be a television anchor, which is really strange to me. But so I tried going into that for a little bit, but really the recording side just really. I started shooting video, doing radio spots. I interned at a radio station, and by that I mean cleaning their closets of of 50-year-old tapes, pretty much. Just really paid my dues for about 2 years, and in those times, I would spend a lot of time journaling. Just getting school credit to journal by myself while I was doing grunt work. And through those times, those are the times when I grew as in my creativity in general. So I wrote hundreds and hundreds of just terrible songs during that time. Yeah, so we did, and I'm sure you guys know how that feels. So it was just the best times of my life, honestly. So, and I was still involved in church at the time. Our worship band was getting involved in just touring, traveling the country. Our records were selling. We had a band that was involved in the church called Desperation Band. They have an amazing story. They're doing great things right now. They just got back from a tour in New Zealand, and I was involved in that shortly. That's where I met Jared. We played Saturday night services there, and it was amazing. Like I said, we were still a bunch of punk kids making something beautiful. That was our only goal. That's all we wanted to do. And through that, God really just blessed what we were doing.